We are. We are.
I mean, not so much.
All right, I'm trying to refresh everything. It's acting so slow. Okay, what's going on? Hold on, we have someone else. Hello
Hi.
there.
I'm sorry I've missed the past two one.
You are.
Fine outside.
It
is
awful.
here. We only got like 2 inches.
Oh, 18. It's not even an exaggeration. If I'm exaggerating, it's probably it's higher.
That's rough.
I wish we got 18 inches. I could have gotten a snow day.
Ned, do you want to ask him if the audio is up?
Can you guys hear us? Let us know.
Let it snow.
They're saying finally some voice. We're good.
Hey, paisans. What's up, friends?
Hit that music, Marco.
Keep saying 18 inches of snow, so whoever they hear, they know that we're cluster-fucked here under snow.
1 second. Let me try to get it up on the Facebook. Fetching video stream. Okay, we're almost go. I see we have a bunch of people on YouTube already. Everyone jumping on.
They're lining up.
Button.
We appreciate you guys all listening, especially hearing our professionalism and how we get started right on time. every
100%
show.
of the time, we are almost on time.
It's been snowing for a day and a half, literally. I don't want to hear anybody. You can wait 12 minutes. Relax. Captain Negative.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Bleed Big Blue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW.
We are hunkered down over here. Let me move the mic a little. Good evening, everyone. We are surviving, I hope. I have Tim on the line, I have James on the line, and I have Ned on the line, which I remember his real name, I think. Oh, no, mental block. Mental block.
Ernie.
No.
No.
Ed.
No, it starts with a P.
Philip,
P.
nailed it.
There we go.
Philip.
So we're gonna do this podcast until the wheels fall off, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
We're a little bit on the
guys...
snow. The internet is acting a little crazy.
This might be a little bit shorter of a show than usual, but it's okay.
Justin's at a Daughtry concert. It's the second day of spring. There's 18 inches of snow. It's literally the end of the world.
Daughtry.
At least Justin's going to see, if it's the end of the world, he's going to see Daughtry.
I can't think of any place else I'd rather be if I knew that was it.
Can he call in? This way we could get some live Daughtry action.
Jesus, no. Don't answer.
All right, gents, I'm going to step away, all right? You guys let it run because I have something to tend to, okay?
Uh-oh. That sounds like he's
got to go take a shit. That's what's going on, guys. He's got to go take a shit.
There we go. Okay. I'm going to jump out for a second.
So, guys, I want your guys' opinion. And the more I'm getting back to it, I know, especially me and you, James, we've been debating the quarterback, these order of quarterbacks probably since pretty much mid-season because we knew we'd be in this position.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Darnold's had his pro day, Josh Rosen's had his pro day, it's starting to come, at least it looks like to me, that the top two that we always thought were the top two are finally getting their due. And everybody's like, oh, okay, Darnold is number one. Rosen's probably second choice. That being said, do we go Rosen at two?
It's let me say this. They should. They should go quarterback at two. I'm starting to get the impression that Josh Allen's name is a lot more in the forefront than I thought it would be, to be honest with you. I thought that we would hear his name dropping, and it's pretty much remained, right where it is. He's an intriguing potential number one pick. If we pick Josh Allen, I may just put the noose around my neck and end it. That's not the guy I would want at all. Here's what they should take a quarterback. Let's put it this way. For as intriguing as Davis Webb is, no one knows what is, right? So, so how can you really? I mean, everybody passed on him twice. Some teams more than twice last year. So you can't really sell me a bill of goods on Davis Webb, not knowing what I see. Do I think he's progressed with those film that we've seen? Yeah. I mean, yeah, his footwork's gotten better, but do we know how good his footwork's going to be when he has, behemoths trying to kill him? I don't know. I haven't seen him on the NFL level. So I think it's dangerous to play the game of it's Davis Webb. You better be damn right because there's a lot of good options here, quarterback-wise. I don't really pay a lot of attention to pro days and combines. I saw what I needed from these guys in college. My 4 guys are different than everybody else's 4 guys. I drop Allen out and I plug Lamar Jackson in. But, you can argue these 5 guys until you're blue in the face. Here's the thing. We're not taking a quarterback. The Giants are going to either trade back or they're going to take Barkley at 2. Now, I think when you look at it from a realistic standpoint, I think the Giants can potentially trade out at 2. I think the key to where you're in prime position to walk away potentially still with Barkley, and if not a primetime player and a bunch of picks, is the Denver spot. I think if you can find a way to push back to 5 and get to 5 and get a bunch of picks from Denver, then you're in position to where I mean, everybody thinks the Browns are going Barkley. I don't think so. I think the Browns, I think, are going to get Chubb. I think they really like Chubb. They're sitting there at 4 and they're saying, hey, you know what? We got the best defensive player in the draft just waiting for us. And they can put him opposite of Miles on the other side. So I mean, they just got Hyde. They got Duke Johnson. I don't know that would be their pick. So you could potentially get the picks. You could potentially get Barkley. I'm very curious to see how Mr. Gettleman plays this thing. Really curious. Really curious to see what
that's my thing with this thing. And I talked to you about this morning, James, but obviously these guys aren't privy to our chats on a daily basis.
Thank you, so.
I look back at history, and I see what Giants do. Especially, let's go back to when Eli got drafted. Gettleman was in the Giants front office at that point. He was part of that decision making. Everybody said if they did not get Eli, they were getting Ben Roethlisberger. Giants like the size. Giants probably feel, just like any other coach, you give me the kid with the tools, I'll teach him up. I'll teach him up. That's the thing with Josh. That's where I'm thinking Josh Allen could be the pick. But I also wanted to put it out there that, just like we said at the beginning of the offseason, Gettleman's putting a lot of smoke screens out there. The one smoke screen that hasn't come out is, other than today, the Giants actually talked to Darnold. Darnold has not been part of it. I really think Giants wanted to do everything possible to act like they have no interest in Darnold, so Darnold will drop to 2. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But again, looking at history again, who does? I'll give you a guy that Saquon Barkley reminds me of, and you tell me if he was worth it at number 2. Reggie Bush.
No.
Reggie Bush was all-world running back. Everybody wanted him. He was supposed to go number 1.
That's my concern. That's my concern with this kid.
And NC State defensive end, what number 1? And that's what everybody's saying Chubb is a Mario Williams clone.
I got concerns about
Reggie Bush.
Okay, I got concerns about Barkley, and it doesn't mean that he's a bad player or he's not going to be a good player. I just don't know if he's going to be worthy of a number 2 pick. I don't know if he's the type of guy that you could run through the. I don't know he's the type of guy that you can run through the tackles in the NFL level 22 times a game. Somebody posted a video the other day on Twitter or Facebook or some shit, and they said, "Oh, for all the people that says he can't run between the tackles." And they posted a video of him running between the tackles, and every single run between the tackle was out of the read option. And I was like, well, that's you. Different, little different, right? I mean,
yep.
horse for different color at the NFL level. And to think that, I haven't seen him do it. I don't know that he can pound 22 times. Is the kid explosive? Yeah. Is he a matchup problem? Yeah. It's a nightmare.
Is he a bell cow?
I don't know.
He is.
There you go. Is he a bell cow? And I'll tell you the truth. When I look at some of the bell cows in the NFL, Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, you look at some of the guys, where were they drafted? Not in the first round. They weren't drafted at 2. Now, you can make an argument for Zeke, and you can make an argument for Leonard Fournette, and yeah, you can do that. That's great. But not at 2. Not at 2. Not at 2.
With that argument right there,
the pieces that you can get, not at 2. I mean, it's just.
No, I totally agree with you. But just the two people you just named, Zeke and Leonard Fournette, I saw them be bell cows in college. Run up the middle, pound, do whatever they needed to do. I did not see that from Saquon Barkley. And that's
me either. I mean, it's just that's my concern with Barkley is, and that's why to me, if you're the Giants, there are 4 guys in the draft, right, that you can conceivably walk away with and be really happy if quarterback's not your guy. Now, I am totally on the record saying that you're at 2. You're never at 2 with these many kids coming out. Find the kid you want, get him, right? Get that quarterback.
Let's repeat our motto. You take a quarterback or you trade back.
Now,
we've been preaching that.
If we're going to trade back, okay, to me, it's always been, I'm get the quarterback. But if you're telling me you're not getting the quarterback, you can't get him, I'm not taking a quarterback. That's not an option. Then to me, there's 4 guys on the board that I want. I want one of the 4. I want Chubb, I want Barkley, I want Fitzpatrick, and I want Nelson, right? Give me one of those 4 guys and picks. So I'm trading out of 2. And if I'm trading out of 2 with the knowledge that quarterbacks are going 1, 2, and 3, then I have a leverage of I have picks 4, 5, 6, and 7 that I could trade out of.
Well, here's the other rumor that I saw today is Indy's talking about trading back again. They were talking to Miami. Now, they also probably put that out there so Buffalo is, and if that's the case, then instead of Denver, we could possibly trade back to 6 with either. I'm sure they're putting it out there so Buffalo gets a little, put some more ammo out there so they could possibly get up to 2. Or let's say Miami does.
I think there's going to be a lot of movement. I think that if somebody makes a trade with the Giants, and the Giants end up trading back, even if it's on the clock draft night, I think that you're going to see somebody. I think you could see Cleveland, unless Cleveland is in love with one of those kids. I think Cleveland's going to entertain, because you got to remember, if the first 3 picks are Allen, Darnold and Rosen in any order, then that number 4 pick becomes the money pick for the next guy. And the next guy is going to be Baker Mayfield or Allen or somebody like that. So,
rumor has it already that Baker Mayfield
are the first 4 picks
guy.
quarterbacks? Are the first 4 picks quarterbacks?
There's a wild card in there right now. There's rumors that Baker Mayfield is Jets guy. He go number 3.
Well, I called that. Did you see my post a week ago?
Yes, I'll give you credit for that.
I said Darnold and won to Cleveland. If Captain Negative ends up getting that right, forget you're never gonna hear the end of it. But I got Darnold going 1 to Cleveland. I got Denver trading up with the Giants and taking Rosen. I have the Jets taking Mayfield, Cleveland taking Chubb, and then the Giants still getting Barkley at 5. Having traded down and still getting a bunch of picks.
Yeah, I do remember that tweet. Now, here's my gut feeling.
Fitzpatrick instead.
That's also
I wouldn't mind
Fitzpatrick.
I mean, give me Fitzpatrick.
But this is my gut feeling. I really think Giants want Darnold, period. I think that's who they want. out of all the guys, and they're just pretty much going to wait until Cleveland takes the pick to see whoever the hell they hope they choose. They don't choose Darnold. If Darnold gets a pick, then I think it's open for business, especially if somebody blows our doors off with an offer.
Here's another scenario that I'm hoping plays out. I'm hoping that whoever Cleveland decides on, it happens before the draft.
Yeah, I mean that's a usual case, but Dorsey doesn't take me as a guy that's going to announce that quick. He doesn't want to give us he probably doesn't want to give us the advantage, especially with him having the fourth pick. He doesn't want to give us the advantage of pretty much working out a deal for weeks.
You never know. You never know. Crazy things have happened.
Yeah.
But I would love for that news to break maybe a good 24 hours before the draft. And then, that's another 24 hours where we have the first pick in the draft.
That Cleveland loved Josh Allen. And there is this buzz about Josh Allen. But I'm almost taking it as a smokescreen on the Josh Allen thing. I really think it's Darnold and Rosen. I think the only reason Rosen dropped is because of that injury history at all. I just read in a thing today that Josh Rosen's dad, a doctor, and so
here's something that people aren't talking about. Allen, broken collarbone, same injury that Tony Romo had.
Mayfield has concussions too.
Yeah, Mayfield, couple of concussions. Darnold's probably the cleanest, and Lamar Jackson. They're probably the cleanest prospects, and they're the youngest ones.
Well, they said a lot of people aren't talking about Lamar Jackson because he hasn't hired an agent. So, as far as he's not getting the
news for you. If I'm Buffalo,
that crap.
I'm not even. I think I've given up enough. If I'm Buffalo, I'm intrigued by staying right where I am and hoping that kid, just seeing how things play out and hoping that Lamar Jackson drops to me.
Yeah, I don't think Buffalo's in a bad spot because, honestly, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I think A.J. McCarron's pretty good. And that's
I don't think you could hitch your wagon. I wouldn't hitch my wagon.
No, you're not going to hitch your wagon.
If I'm in position to get one of these kids, I get one of these kids.
He get you through for a few years. A.J. McCarron's out enough, especially with that team.
You grab one of these five.
Granted, did you see Buffalo might have lost one of their wide receivers? He doing a whole lot of
ape shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell the problem was. I was trying to figure out what was going on in the video, other than just running around butt ass naked in the hotel.
Synthetic marijuana, I heard. I heard synthetic marijuana.
You don't do that stuff.
No bueno. I don't know if he knew it was. I don't know if he maybe thought it was normal marijuana and somebody gave him medical marijuana instead, and he ended up going apeshit. But that's the report that I saw. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm not breaking news, but who knows?
Oh, if that's the case, then
Zay got into a little bit of trouble.
They'll sweep that on the rug then, because Chandler Jones did the same thing right before Super Bowl.
Yeah, then somebody walked right into a police department, didn't he?
Yeah, that was Chandler Jones. Yeah, he was pretty much down to his boxers.
I'm a little high, and
I want to report something on myself.
I'm a little. It was the Dave Chappelle skit, the stand-up, where there's a difference between white people when they're high. They just walk right over to the cop. Excuse me, sir. Start pulling on his sleeve. Sir, I'm a little lost.
Do you guys think the Cherry contract rework might hint towards maybe grabbing Nelson or getting additional picks so that we could grab another O-lineman?
I think additional picks, yeah. I don't. If you trade back, you take Nelson at 2, and we should riot. I mean, it's not a knock against Nelson. It's the value
you don't
of
take
that
Gardner
pick.
too.
Yeah,
It's
just
not
the value
draft
of the pick. Now, if you're telling me we trade back to 6 and we get Nelson, sign me up. You know, if you're going to say we're going to trade back to 5 and we're going to get an additional second-round pick and an additional third-round pick and another first-round pick next year from Denver, and we're going to take Nelson, and we got him ranked highest on our board over Chubb and Barkley and the other guys. Okay, like I'm not going to argue with that.
The scenario I heard this morning. You tell me
but
what
not
you guys
at 2.
think. The scenario I heard this morning was, let's say Buffalo blows our doors off, gives us the offer, we make the trade. We're down to 12. What they said, the way Gettleman is, he wanted to come away with a gold jacket player. That's his words. They were like, they were to trade up from 12 to get up to whatever, let's say 6, so he can get like Saquon Barkley.
No, just trade back to 6.
Well,
like, what do you?
Let's put it this way:
trade to 12,
for Buffalo
to 12, and then
the Buffalo to move up to us, the ridiculous draft haul we would get, and they were saying that you probably would have to give up about 60% of the haul to go up and get Barkley. So you'd still have other picks.
That's what I'm saying. You still got to give up. You still got to give up the extra picks that you're getting that make it attractive. You have to then give those up to trade back into the top 10 to get Barkley.
Well, that's my point.
It's
I want to do it. I want to do it anyway, but not for Barkley. I honestly, as much as Barkley's a talent, I'm gonna tell you right now, I like Darius Geis more than I like him.
US.
Yeah,
what about
and you guys we all know we're on the Nick Chubb train.
Yeah,
Nick Chubb was talking to Carolina
a lot. He's not very
Nick Chubb was
fast.
talking to Carolina
he's a fucking
Panthers
beast
this week, and I was like, God damn it.
Fast though, but he's undersized.
Who's this?
Let me look up his name. He might, because I think he could fall to us.
What school?
Third round. He's from Iowa. Give me a second.
Oh, Wadley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wadley. He's undersized. He'll go third, fourth round. Maybe even fifth.
There's a lot of intriguing, but there always is. Kareem Hunt and Kamara went in the third round last year. There's always intriguing running back prospects. And it's not a knock against Barkley. Maybe he is a generational talent. Maybe he's not. I've seen him play. I like him. The kid's explosive. I don't know if he can do it on an NFL level between the tackles 20 times a game. And that's the guy you're looking for. And you can't be wrong about the running back. If it's a bust at 2 and you don't trade back and you take Barkley, I mean, God help you. God help you.
I honestly think, as far as safest picks, I don't think Barkley's the safest pick. I really think Quentin Nelson's a safe pick.
I think Fitzpatrick's the safest pick.
I like Fitzpatrick because he's been highly touted pretty much his whole life. And the fact that he can play multiple positions is a huge plus. Right now, though, you know who I like? I like Derwin James.
I got news for you. Somebody said to me today, because I had that draft. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you realize what you just did? You just raped the entire NFL.
And you know what that means to be JPP? This will be your last year.
JPP.
Vernon, this is your last year. You already see your replacement.
I mean, you get me that kid. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would love for Cleveland to take Barkley at 4 and save us from that and and have Chubb drop in our lap plus picks. You're talking about a kid that probably, if you take the quarterbacks off the board, conceivably probably might be the number 1 pick in the draft.
I think they might take. I honestly think they might take Fitzpatrick over Chubb simply because they have more of a need at safety than they do.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? I'll be honest with you. At that point, like, it depends on who you have rated higher. Like, I don't. It's not about need. Who's the best player? Who's the player that you have rated higher? If you have Chubb rated higher than Fitzpatrick based on pure talent alone, forget need. Because I got news for you. JPP and Vernon were on the team last year. How'd that defense look? There's a problem on this roster, and you can't go into this draft saying, here are our positions of need. You need good football players. And that is one of my big proponents. That's why I'm so high on trading back, because I think you need as many good players as possible.
And I'm with you, Ned, as far as the Fitzpatrick thing. I understand where you're coming from with it, but you just got to look at the positions. It's harder to get in dominant D end than it is a free safety.
100%. Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying in terms of what makes sense for Cleveland. They've got a suitable defensive end
Chubb
situation.
makes sense. Chubb, let me tell you, Chubb makes sense for Cleveland. If I'm Cleveland right now and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my team, okay, I need.
Yeah, you have Garrett.
I got Myles Garrett on one side. I get to put Chubb on the other side of Myles Garrett.
And those guys are going to be there like 4 or 5 years together
on rookie contracts. So I got my quarterback and my 2 defensive ends on rookie deals for the next. I'm going to get my defensive end. I'm going to get production out of day 1. I already have this kid now in year 2 to go along with the kid who's in year 1, and I got a quarterback that I don't have to rush in. That's going to be on. I'm going to have these guys for 4 full years on rookie deals. If you're Cleveland.
Yep. I agree with you, but I have a feeling, and I have a feeling Cleveland trades back that 4th pick, because once 3 quarterbacks go, which is probably what's going to happen, that 4th and 5th quarterback, people get desperate. People are going to get desperate and give Cleveland something for that 4th pick. And unless you love, matter how far they trade back. Like a team like Denver might trade up.
From a Cleveland perspective, it also, from a Cleveland perspective, though, it also depends on how much they like Chubb. Like Cleveland could be sitting there right now. Dorsey could be sitting there right now going, why am I going to trade back? I'm getting the quarterback I want and the best defensive player in the draft, and I traded back last year. I still have a ton of picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that they wouldn't, but I don't know that necessarily that they would. Like, if I'm Cleveland right now and I'm looking at it, if I'm that enamored with one of those guys, whether it be Barkley, Chubb, Nelson, Fitzpatrick, I may conceivably be content saying, fuck you and your deal. I'm getting my guy. For as much as we're saying,
just like you said,
for as much as we say trade back, to me, it's trade back because of the fact that you're dealing with, quarterbacks. Now, I get that at 4, somebody's going to be trading up trying to get them, but Cleveland's not the team that has to worry about that because they got the guy that's starting next year and they got their future. And they also traded back last year to be able to get a shit ton of picks. So they've been here and done that. They may be looking at this is our time to get our guys.
Cleveland.
And then the nice part would be the fact is the way the draft's probably going to go is they get their number 1 quarterback and then you can get their number 1 non-quarterback at pick 1 and pick 4.
Exactly. But no matter who that is, they know that if the Giants don't take, and they also know that right now, one name you don't hear with the Giants, which is is Chubb. So if they're thinking that, we've already signed Carlos Hyde, they're saying, we know we're walking away out of this draft. We know we're walking away with Darnold and Chubb. They may be content with that. Now, somebody can come and blow their doors off, but they may be content with that.
Who is the guy that, a non-quarterback that got drafted at number 2 that you would not be pissed about?
Chubb.
Is that the only person?
I think so. And still, I would have a hard time.
I think I'm there with you. I'd still
have a hard time. I'd still have a really hard time dealing with that, because I think that you just have to. If the quarterback's not your guy, you really have to. The offer is going to be that good that you're going to have to trade back. You're going to have to trade back. I don't see how you can't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so excited that Giants are actually in this position to actually maybe get the ridiculous amount of draft capital that could set us up for 10 years.
Well, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. They're going to draft Barkley at 2.
Captain Negative.
If Gettleman gets an offer he can't refuse, and that was his words, he's going to take it. So I think
let's see, because according to Gettleman, that offer is, if you're taking a player at 2, right, that guy is going to have a gold jacket on. So he's put quite a lot of pressure on the guy that he takes at 2, that you're going to be having to wear a gold jacket. So let's see. I mean, let's see what happens.
It might be a case of just not. It might just be a case of what teams are actually willing to pay, and less of a case of us like actively seeking to do it. I think it's going to have to be someone comes to Gettleman with something absurd, and he just simply can't say no.
And I know we keep saying the usual suspects as far as like Denver, Arizona, Buffalo, but that doesn't mean that someone's not going to come out of nowhere. Just like Philly did for Carson Wentz, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it could be a team like Miami, who's drafting at number 11. They're like, screw Tannehill. Let's go up.
Miami, I think the Steelers might be desperate to find a Roethlisberger replacement.
And don't you think that we could pull off a trade with Pittsburgh, since it's the same ownership? It's family.
I mean,
yeah, where's Pittsburgh picked though?
Pittsburgh's way up there. I mean, there's no way we could drop that far.
I would think that they would have to make an initial move first. But if you see them make an initial move up, that might be hinting that they might be trying to set up.
The only way that works is if you're giving up Le'Veon Bell.
Here's what you have to realize, though. It's like a team in order for Pittsburgh to move up to the position that they're going to have to, you're going to have to give up picks to move up significantly to get the additional first-round pick. And how far are you moving up? So if you're picking at 27 and you move up to 16, 15, that's a pretty considerable jump in the first round. You're going to have to give up some stuff to get it. And then what do you have to get our pick? Because I'm not moving back to 15.
Yep.
So, it really depends on, where these teams are picking right now. I would say that if you're not in the top 13, you better be calling with all pro players that you're trading me as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Young ones.
They have the Steelers have that capital. They aren't short on those types of players. So they might actually offer us a really good player as something to try.
That's what it would take. I would is there a sign and trade with Le'Veon? I mean,
you don't want that. No.
What am I getting? I don't want Le'Veon Bell. Tell me why I don't want Le'Veon Bell. Give me one reason why I don't want Le'Veon Bell on this roster.
Now, why would it do Le'Veon Bell with Odell Beckham?
Yeah,
and all these other
seriously.
weapons we have? It'd be disgusting.
His personality is already like
we got Odell Beckham Jr. on the team.
Yeah, and you want to add Odell Beckham Jr.
If our window is 2 years,
True.
I mean, are we trying to win now? Because it looks like we're trying to win now. So, I mean, what's Pittsburgh offering?
Even then,
because unless they're offering Le'Veon Bell, I'm not trading back to 15. Am I getting Antonio Brown? They don't have any defensive players that I want at all.
No, but they have a good offensive line.
Okay, so but I don't want a guard.
You're
I'm
not giving
a guard
any of their
trade back to 15. I don't want their left tackle. I'm not enamored with him. So, like, what am I getting from them?
Nah, well, I'm looking at the draft order now. Yeah, Pittsburgh at 28. That's not going to happen. Period.
No,
that's not going to happen. The main reason we keep bringing up the Bills, it just makes too much sense with the Gettleman relationship, with the amount of Bills draft capital that they do have. That's why it makes sense. Bills have 2 first-round picks, 2 seconds, 2 thirds this year.
The Bills need to find a way. The Bills need to find a way to get to 7 at least if they want our pick.
Yep.
Because if I'm the Giants, that may be my cutoff point. Because I don't want to drop back to the point where I'm not getting one of those 4 players. If I walk away with more picks and Nelson, more picks and Fitzpatrick, more picks and Barkley, more picks and Chubb, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the deal, and I love Nelson. Don't get me wrong on him. I would love to take him exactly where you're talking about taking him at, but I have no problem passing on him either. Because
me either.
Because there's a guy there's a few good guards that are first round grades. Like I'll give you Isaiah Wynn from Georgia, Willie Hernandez from UTEP. Willie Hernandez is a monster. The dude's humongous. And we can grab those guys later. And this is such a guard-heavy draft. And like I told you, the one guy that we could possibly get in the 3rd round because he tore his pecs. We can probably get Billy Price in the 3rd round. And he's a first-round grade.
You don't got to sell me on it, because if you were asking me to rank if you were asking me to rank the 4 guys that aren't quarterbacks, I would have it Chubb, Fitzpatrick, Barkley, and Nelson.
Yeah,
gentlemen, do you want to hit up the phone lines? I think I have them working.
Yeah, let's hit up the phones. I don't even know anybody was calling in.
Let's go.
Hold on, excuse me. Coughing my brains out here. All right, this guy's been on for a little bit. 443. What's up? Where are you calling from?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. What's your name again?
Jordan. I called, I think, last.
How's it going, Jordan?
What's up, Jordan?
Hey, what's up? I wanted to step away from the draft a little bit because y'all been talking about the draft stuff, but I was interested in the free agency and the signings that we made. I just wanted to ask, is this going to have which free agency do you think will have a bigger impact going forward? The one that we signed, Max Harrison, Jack Rabbit, Vernon, or this year's free agency signings? So, do you think they'll have just as much impact as the defensive signings did in 2016 when we had a top 5 defense?
I would say yes and no. The main reason being it's going to be in different. It's going to be in different spots. I think our special teams just got 100% better over all these signings that have been going on. That's a definite. As far as is it going to turn our defense going to be better? I think the defense is going to be better because Betcher's a different defensive coordinator. I think we needed to change.
How about the offense?
As far as the offense, I think the offensive line is better right now. But it's going to by before, after the draft and all that stuff, you come and talk to me again, I guarantee the offensive line's even got more weapons in there. And I think it's going to be a lot better. Is it
I just want to remind.
No, I think it's a year. I think it's a year away from being a really good offensive line.
Right.
I just want to remind everybody that for as needed as Solder was, they overpaid for a good player. He is not an All-Pro. He is not a stud left tackle. He is a solid left tackle. So I don't know.
Having said that,
are they better? Yeah. I just don't know how much better he makes them.
Yeah, having said that,
I don't even think
he kept Brady clean for 7 years, though.
He had some trouble at times. They did a very good job with their 2 tight end sets of protecting people. He had his struggles against certain types of defenders. He's a solid left tackle. He's a good player. He's not a $15 million left tackle, but that's what the market says, and they had a need, and they had to overpay for it. They got better. They got markedly better. But
all right, Jordan, I'm going to put you on hold.
Let's just put it in perspective.
It comes down to Eric Flowers, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, this is why it comes down to Eric Flowers. If Eric Flowers steps it up at right tackle, this offensive line got tremendously better.
I got news for you. For as much as, and I agree with what they did, telling Flowers that nothing is going to be handed to him, that he's going to have to earn it. I think that was a smart move. But I got news for everybody. For as much as we like to throw arrows at Eric Flowers might have been the most consistent, most improved player last year when you look at the body of work for the entire season. And you can call me crazy, but go watch the film. Eric Flowers improved. Eric Flowers improved last year markedly from the year before. So I don't know. I'm not saying he's the second coming of Anthony Munoz, but did the kid get better? Yeah, the kid got better. Now, I always said that they reached for him and that he should have been a right tackle at the end of that first round the year he was drafted, not where the Giants selected him to be a left tackle. And then Beatty got hurt and it expedited everything, and he ended up having to go play left tackle. I think right tackle is his natural fit. So if you've seen progression from Flowers at left tackle, which was not his natural position, you see the kid has a mean streak. He has an ability he's improved. He works hard. He stood around in the offseason last year, and you showed that paid off. The first couple of games were rough, but if you look at the whole season, he played pretty well. So I think moving him to the right side, there's a chance that the offensive line could be significantly improved. But we have to look at that through realistic eyes and say there's a chance that they could be realistically improved, and we hope that can happen. But if last year taught us anything, is let's wait. We're going to have to see what happens on the field before we start, kissing ass and throwing roses at people's feet.
Right.
Well,
I threw Jordan on hold. Let's go to the next caller. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
347. Are you there? What's up?
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's Isaiah Garcia. I'm back.
What's up, man? What do you feel?
I wanted to talk about. First, I wanted to tell you guys. I told you so about the special teams. We did a lot of shit to get our special teams better, so I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
And
awesome.
Second of all, I wanted to ask because I sent a picture to these 2 Instagram pages of this picture that my friend sent me. The Bills. Supposedly, there are rumors that the Bills are going to give us their first 2 first-round picks, their second-round pick, their third-round pick, their second-round pick for next year, for the second pick of this year's draft. Would you guys do that? Yes or no? I said no.
me personally,
No.
because I want both second-round picks from them, and they're both third-round picks. Our pick is too valuable.
And a first-round pick next year, and they can shove the second-round pick next year up their ass.
Yep. But I wanted to ask, like, if we was to do something like that, what players would we take in the first 3 rounds with all these picks?
Well, I'll take it to James. The only reason I already know James was going to say. As far as who knows what we're going to take in the second, third rounds.
Here's my thing.
There's no way we can do. No way.
I know we have a lot of young Giant fans. We have a lot of young Giant fans that listen to us. Listen, we've been around this thing a lot longer than some of you guys have. Listen, and we're not saying anything. Who knows, right? We're not always right. We're not always. But take this word to the wise, okay? Don't get hell bent on players and positions in the draft. Because it is so random. We don't know who anyone has on the board. All these teams have guys differently ranked. There's different values for everybody. Here's what you have to understand, and here's what we have to hope, okay? Forget about positions. All right, we're little wake-up call to all of our Giant fans here. Little wake-up call. The team is not that good, okay? So we need better players all over the roster. So just hope that no matter what positions they take, cornerback, wide receiver, running back, kicker, punter, water boy, just hope that it's an upgrade. Get them into camp and let it play itself out. Just get good football players. Don't worry about names and don't worry about positions. Just hope that they bring in good players.
And that's the thing with Gettleman, James.
You saw what the Saints did last year. They got all their players that they drafted are good. So I don't care what players they pick as long as they're good and they help the team. And you saw how good the Saints did in the regular season and the postseason. And
here's the other thing, guys. Is if you take a step back at it and don't look at it with these blue rose glasses that a lot of people look at it. Can take it position by position. Look at the offense. Can this team use another guard? Yes. Can they use another tackle? Yes. Can they use another wide receiver? Yes. Can they use a running back? Yes. Can they use a quarterback of the future? Yes. Can they use a defensive lineman?
Would you be upset if they took the quarterback in the second or third round?
Go through every position. They have every position is a position of need right now. So take the best player.
Would you be upset if they took a quarterback in the second or third round? For example, like Mason Rudolph or Lamar Jackson?
Yes. If you're not going to take the quarterback, at 2, then you're telling me that you took Webb in the third round last year and he's the guy that you're invested in for another 2 years or so while Eli is playing. If you take a quarterback anywhere else in the draft, we storm the castle. We light the torches and we gather and we storm the castle because it's just asinine at that point and you're wasting picks.
100%, James. It makes absolutely no sense that a guy. First of all, we already know Davis Webb's work ethic is talent level, and you can't tell me anybody that's getting drafted in the second and third round isn't the same level as Davis Webb. If you're telling me that you're trying
to win now, if you're and everything that you're doing in the off season is to say that we're going to try to win now, and then you're going to trade back out of that 2 spot and tell me I'm not worried about a quarterback because I have Davis Webb, and then you're going to acquire a bunch of picks and you're going to get me all fired up to say, okay, well, fuck it, we got Davis Webb. We're going to go for this thing with Eli. We got a shit ton of picks. How many good players could we bring in? And then we get to pick fucking 49 and you take fucking Mason Rudolph? I swear to God, Gettleman, I will come for you.
The only thing I could see, and I'm going to give you this scenario, and I doubt it will happen. A guy like Lamar Jackson slides. It gets to it.
Not even then. I'm sorry, Kim. Not even then. Not even then. Because if you're telling me this team has too many holes, and if you're telling me that we just acquired 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks, an additional 4th-round pick, a couple of picks next year, then I need players. I need players. Then when I traded back in the first round, who did I get? Did I get Fitzpatrick? Okay, well now I need some linemen. So I'm going to look to see who's the highest lineman. Is it a tackle? Is it a guard? Or is there a center that I can look to convert that get a high grade in the third round? Those are what those picks are for. Can I get a defensive tackle? Can I get a cornerback? You're taking players that you can use all over your roster at that point because you're all about winning now.
I agree. And, just to go back to this question, if we did take the Bills pick, I can at least answer, like, the first round. As far as it at 12, we can get a guy, and James will know who I said, Mike McGinty, tackle from Notre Dame, who's played on the right and left side, and he's going to give competition to whoever.
If we're going to get if we're going to make the trade with the Bills, it's going to have to be the two first-round picks, both of their second-round picks, both of their third-round picks, and they could give me an additional pick next year, and I would like that to be a first-round pick, and I would hold out until there was 7 seconds on the clock on draft night, and I had to get the card in. I would hold out for that first-round pick and then maybe settle for a second-round pick next year if that's what they wanted.
Yeah, I hate lumping in all the picks into 1 year because then you're only getting that one draft class. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. I want McCoy. Like if I'm trading out of the top 10, I want McCoy. Like I don't like if you're going young with these guys, then I want McCoy. I'm trying to win now, and I'm trading out of the top 10. So I'm losing Barkley, I'm losing Fitzpatrick, I'm losing Nelson, I'm losing a top 10 talent. I'm trading you potentially a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah. All right, Isaiah, we're putting you on hold. We're going to go to the next caller. 908. Who is 908? 908, are you there?
Hello?
Hello. Hey, what's going on?
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's your name?
Right now I feel... Oh, my name's Jared.
Yeah, what's up? Oh, Jared, what's happening?
So right now there is an obvious divide amongst the Giants fan base. Half of the people want a Barkley and the other half want a QB. So, but what I think people fail to sort of realize and underestimate is Pat Shurmur and his developing ability of players. And I did some research, and if you look at Minnesota's offense last year, they only had 3 starters on the offense that were first-round picks. The left tackle was Riley Reif, and the other 2 were Laquan Treadwell and Sam Bradford, who Laquan Treadwell barely gets any playing time, and Bradford was injured the entire year. So I think we're all underestimating that Shurmur can take later-round guys and undrafted free agents and develop them into one of the top ranking offenses in the league. So I think we're really underestimating the value of those later-round picks and undrafted free agents. It's not all just about Barkley, Rose, and Darnold, and whoever we take in the first round.
No, you're right. I mean, you definitely need to hit on those late-round picks. They help. Undrafted free agents, they help. I mean, we've seen some names in the past. Victor Cruz, right? Not a high draft pick. Came in, took the world by storm. We agree with you. I mean, that's a good point. But I think that considering where the main reason you're seeing all this talk is I don't necessarily think it means we devalue those picks. We know that, the odds are long with some of those guys, but we know there is value in finding those guys, and you need to, throughout the course of the season, find those guys because so many guys get hurt and stuff like that. But this is such a monumental moment for the franchise for the next decade because last year was so bad. It felt like the end of maybe that whole Eli Manning era. There's not a lot of guys left from, the teams that won around here. And there's been some bad football. And considering where we are at number 2, we're not here a lot. And then you take into consideration the amount of quarterbacks that are coming out, and it's sort of the perfect storm right now. And I think that the reason why these Giant fans are so divided is because you got a bunch of people that think that this team is so close to winning now because of the 11-5 season, because Beckham's going to be back, because Ingram and Shepard and all that stuff, and now they bring in Solder, and he was the missing link, and now they're going to have this draft where if you can add Barkley to what they have, now this team is Super Bowl ready. And that's dangerous to think that way because there was a lot of holes depth-wise on this roster. So I think there's a big divide from Giant fans, even in the Barkley camp, that say, you know, even if Barkley is really good, I mean, I'll admit to you, Barkley is a very intriguing prospect. He could end up being a very great back in the NFL. But if you told me that I can trade back and acquire more picks to strengthen the other holes on this roster to make the overall team better, you know, I think I'd argue that over I think I'd lean towards that over Barkley. But I think, Tim, you know where, I mean, if we want the quarterback.
Yeah, if you like one of these quarterbacks, you take a quarterback. Period. I really think it's Darnold and Rosen and everybody else. If honestly, you know, without the health scares, you know, throw them out. But that's where I'm at. I think it's Darnold, Rosen. I guess if you have to put a gun in my head, I guess Josh Allen's number 3.
Really?
I'd go.
Yeah. I wouldn't go. I can't go Mayfield. I just don't see it.
I don't know. I think there's
something about that kid. Yeah, I guess something about that kid. And you put him with the Jets. You know, no matter which way that goes, considering that we're in the New York market, that is awesome entertainment.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna love to see it.
I love that. If that rumor is true and Jets get Mayfield at 3, it just makes me laugh that they gave up that many picks to get Mayfield at 3. He is not deserving of a top 5 pick.
See, I disagree. See, you know what, dude? I heard somebody else say that. I disagree with that. So he's worthy of being picked at 6, but not at 5.
I wouldn't even say that. Honestly, I would say I would.
I think he's more worthy. I've seen more than him. I saw more than him on Saturdays than I saw from Josh Allen.
True.
That kid, Mayfield. That kid's a football player, man. That kid's got a little swagger in him. He can make every throw on the field. You know, I don't know. I'm not down. I don't see, if you love the kid, if you're going to say, I want this kid to be the face of my franchise, I love this kid, I'm going after him, then if that guy's Lamar Jackson, if you have conviction in your pick, then I don't care where you take him.
All right, let's go to the
quarterback.
Another one on hold. Let's go.
What's going on, man?
832. Where are you calling from? Going once.
832. Where you at?
Oh, it's me. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh my God.
There goes the show. Are we done?
Yeah. First of all,
come on. Mark's been taken care of.
Joseph Lee,
that's a wrap.
when he said he's not going to be here.
2-minute warning.
I got done early.
2-minute warning.
You're welcome. I got done early, and I thought of you guys when I came in. How are you guys doing?
We're trying to wrap this up. What do you want to talk about? How you love Davis Webb, or how you think Barkley is like so handsome?
Yeah,
what do you
I
want
don't
to
think we
talk
talked about him enough. Don't think we talked about him enough. No, I just want to talk about this. I actually got a different topic for you guys today. Came in here specifically for this. How? So you guys already talked about the Bills trade back. I heard all that going on. I think Tim, you said you wanted LaShawn McCoy along with that, right?
No, that's James. I don't want Shady. As much as I like Shady, I wouldn't want Shady.
Okay. How would you feel more of, I think Zach Brown, he's on the Bills, correct?
Who?
Zach
Brown, linebacker.
That cover 2 linebacker? How would you feel if instead of like Shady, we got a good amount of picks and you got somebody like Zach Brown instead? Because everybody keeps talking about Shady, but nobody's talking about the linebacker they have.
No.
Absolutely not.
First of all, if it was one
I just got Ogletree.
I want Preston Brown.
True. Well,
I want Preston Brown if it's one of those guys, but
I just got Ogletree.
Yeah, but in the 3-4, you generally have 2 middle linebackers up.
Yeah, but I got Goodson too.
We also have more than one game.
James. We also have Calvin Munson.
Fucking Calvin Munson.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to the next caller. Is it? This might be someone from coming out of a Daughtry concert. Hold on, let's see.
Oh God Almighty!
What's up, 717? Are you there?
717's here.
Right.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man?
All right. Hey, I like Josh Rosen. He's super intelligent. I just worry about his 3-step drop back, which there's a lot of these quarterbacks. Their steps aren't big enough to get away from the line of scrimmage, but that'll all come in time. I like Arizona, trading down with Arizona. The only reason is because they're going to suck so bad next year because they got Seattle, they got the Rams. Their division is so freaking good. If you look at their schedule, I think that you can probably – their offensive line is garbage too. If we get their first-round pick next year, you're looking at another top 3 pick next year as well. But that being said, I think Rosen's going to be our guy because I think Donald's going number 1. We ain't picking Barkley, that's for sure, because if the Jets would have called up to the Giants and we didn't make the trade with the Jets to trade up, so if we could have gotten Barkley at 6, it's just screaming. It's just screaming that the Giants are going QB, or they want so much that the Jets were like they weren't going to do it. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I don't think the Jets were ever. I don't think the Giants would ever make the trade with the Jets. I don't even think that they took it into consideration. They might have taken the phone call if the Jets called, but think of how bad the Giants look if they trade back with the Jets and the Jets go in front of the Giants and take a guy the Giants could have had that ends up being a Hall of Fame stud. It's bad enough. Yeah. It's bad enough that now we're in position to where if they fuck this up and they take the wrong guy and the Jets
just take the
Baker
correct
Mayfield
guy.
And he ends up being phenomenal, that you're going to end up with egg on your face anyway. So it's going to be – they got a lot of pressure on them right now. If they make that pick, that it's the right pick. And the easy way out right now could be trading back. But not with the Jets. You would never make that trade with the Jets because if you're wrong, you got to read the back of that newspaper for the next 15 years. And if the guy ends up being a Hall of Famer, you have to live with it for the rest of the franchise's existence.
No, I agree.
Right? Am I wrong? Right.
No, you're absolutely right. They were talking about rivalries that aren't necessarily in the division, and Jets are a rival.
I don't
Just
even
like
consider
the Rams are. The Rams are a rival of San Diego now.
I don't even consider the Jets like a rival. I mean, we play them every 4 years. They're like the little sister. Like I really don't even consider the Jets a rivalry. But if I owned the franchise and there was another franchise that I shared the fucking building with, I would not really want to put them in a position.
Franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
But the Arizona trade, I definitely see
the Arizona trade. Now, where does Arizona pick?
They're like 15. If I remember correctly, I think they're like 15. That's a steep drop.
That's a steep drop.
But then next year,
steep drop.
But then
but the thing is, they don't have the draft capital Buffalo does.
You're gambling on that. You're gambling on that next year. You could say the same thing about Buffalo. I mean, here's the other thing is that you don't know
and a rookie QB
in the NFL. Yeah, and you don't know though in the NFL, right? Like we don't fucking know. Like what if the team ends up winning 8 games and they end up with the 18th pick? I mean, you don't know. It's not a guarantee. I like the picks. The more picks I can get this year, the better. I want to throw in next year, but I'm not really banking on the. You hope that it's going to be a bigger a top end pick, but you're just happy the fact that you're going to go into next year's draft with 2 first rounders, because that's ammunition where you can use that to get up if you wanted.
Cleveland, you can't bank on it anyway. Cleveland, the reason they have the 4th overall pick was the trade with Houston. There was no way in hell anybody thought Houston was going to be a bottom 5 team.
Well, especially the way, Watson was playing before he got hurt.
Yep.
That team was going to be, one of the most dangerous teams coming down the stretch. And then Watson goes down in a fluke injury during practice, and, then the bottom falls out. And, you wonder what would have happened.
The importance of quarterbacks. It shows the importance of quarterbacks, period.
Well,
you don't have one, that's where you draft.
You're done. You're done. I've said it before. A quarterback can mask a great quarterback can mask so many deficiencies on your team, but you cannot mask not having a quarterback. If you have a bad safety combination and they give up a couple of big plays during the game, but your quarterback scores 28 points and you lose 28-24, no one realizes that those safeties are killing you. If you're giving up 100 yards per rushing on the ground per game, and the front 7 is getting hammered a little bit, and you're getting killed in time of possession a little bit, but your quarterback, man, in that 4th quarter, your quarterback makes a couple of plays, and you're 5-2 instead of being fucking 3-4. No one recognizes it. You know what I'm saying, though? I mean, it's just But if you're 2-4, and your offense is scoring 13 points a game, it's obvious what's missing. And if you're 5-2 and your offense is scoring 17 points a game, you're sitting there as a fan going, "Holy shit! How long can we keep this up? How long can we keep winning 16-13? How long can we keep winning 13-12?"
I just have a feeling that if we were giving up 150 yards a game, or our safeties blue, that certain fans would actually notice, like maybe Captain Negative.
No, you would notice. You would notice, but your QB,
Captain Negative.
You would notice, but in situations like this, like you notice in Green Bay, like there's a lot of plays that you're like, wow, that roster, how do they win sometimes? Well, they win because of Aaron Rodgers. You look at the Patriots sometimes, and you're like, you look at the Patriots sometimes, and you're like, in the fourth quarter, the Patriots sometimes are down 10, 12 points, and you're like, wow, they played terrible. And then Brady throws in 16 of 17. I mean, there's quarterbacks around the league, these guys they make plays. Russell Wilson, he's mastered a terrible offensive line for the last 3 years. Now it hasn't worked out that great for him, but guy's playing phenomenal. This year sucked, but the last 2 years he's played really well.
So, gentlemen, let's end on that note. What's the deal for Sunday? Are we gonna be snowed out? Or snowed in? Snowed out?
No. Let's go easy on a Sunday morning. That's
Sunday
fine.
Morning.
Let's do it. Sunday morning's fun.
I like Sunday mornings.
All right, Sunday morning it is. I think.
All right, gentlemen.
Let's see what's going on. We did an hour today. I'm beat. I'm snowed in.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. All right, everyone. Hit the like button. Share this. I'll talk to everyone tomorrow. Peace out.
Later.